My girlfriend left me alone when I was having the worst physical pain imaginable. My girlfriend and I had a good first year except for one habit that nicked us again and again. Whenever I said I was sick or hurt, she didn't believe me. A cough was nothing. A headache was you being dramatic. And if I moved slower, she said I liked the attention. She grew up in a home where every sniffle turned into a loud crisis, so she learned to doubt symptoms before they finished a sentence. I told myself I understood. Then Sunday morning hit. We were supposed to go to an event with my sister, but I woke at dawn with a hard, burning pain low on my right side. It felt like a fist in my back, twisting with each breath. I could barely stand. Something's wrong, I said. She sighed, grabbed her bag, and said I was ruining the plan. I begged her to wait 10 minutes. She shook her head and left. The door clicked. The pain sharpened. I staggered to the bathroom and threw up, knees on cold tile, hands gripping the rim like a rail on a boat. When the shivering slowed, I called my parents because dialing 911 felt like admitting I was helpless. My mom answered on the first ring. "We're coming," she said. 10 minutes later, my mother and brother hauled me into the car. Every bump lit a fire in my side. At the ER, a nurse saw my face and moved fast. Bracelet, blood work, a bed, a question about pain from 1 to 10. 10, I said. Someone started an IV. Warmth crawled up my arm. The pain loosened just enough for me to breathe. A scan confirmed it. Kidney stones. The doctor explained how they would break them up. I nodded and stared at the ceiling until it fuzzed into a white blur. The procedure felt like a storm. Loud, then quiet. 5 hours after we arrived, I lay on my parents' couch with a blanket over my knees and a glass of water I could barely lift. I had never felt pain like that. I hoped to never feel it again. I didn't text my girlfriend. My hands shook and my eyes kept closing. My sister told her where I was and soon my phone buzzed. "You didn't call me?" my girlfriend snapped. I reminded her I had begged her to stay because something was wrong. The line went still. She said a small, "I'm sorry." The drugs thinned and everything I had held back pushed out. I told her how scared I was, how I threw up alone, how the nurse steadied my shoulder while I tried to breathe. I told her I needed her and she left. My voice got sharp. I said harsh things I wish I hadn't. Then I hung up and let the room be quiet. The next day I rested. The day after I rested more. I moved from bed to couch to bathroom with slow steps. She sent a formal apology by text and asked me to apologize too for my words. I set the phone face down. I wasn't ready. The hospital air gave me a small cold, and saving energy felt like my only job. On Friday, she asked to meet. I agreed to talk later, but when I reached my door, she was already there, half hiding behind a bag. She popped out and almost made me jump. Her arms were full. Chocolates, a video game, dinner, a card, even beer from my brother. Words poured out of her. She said she was wrong, that her childhood had trained her to doubt pain, that she didn't know symptoms could hit as fast and hard as mine did. She pulled out her phone and read notes she had typed. Reasons we were good together. Steps she would take next time. A sentence that said, "Believe him first." She told me she had texted her therapist on Monday and met him before coming over. He gave her questions to ask and things to do that help instead of dismiss. She practiced with me. What does it feel like? Do you want water, heat, or a ride? She didn't ask for an apology anymore. She dropped that and focused on what she had done. I listened with my arms crossed, then at my sides. I told her what the hospital felt like, how the scan room hummed, how the pain came like a wave and then a wall. I told her the worst part was not the pain, but the silence after the door closed. She said, "I'm sorry," again, softer, and didn't hurry me. That weekend, she camped at my place. She set a glass by the bed, heated soup, took the trash out, and wrapped my heating pad so it stayed warm. When I woke at night, she checked if I needed anything, and then let me sleep. She kept asking, "Are we okay?" And I kept saying, "We're getting there." My friends visited, and she blended in, handed them cups, and told them I would be back to normal soon. Saturday, my brother stopped by to tease me about my pebble problem, and to see if any beer had survived. He saw her and tried to trade his chore help for her thanks. She laughed and told him to dream bigger, then thanked him for carrying me to the car. After he left, she asked if my family hated her. I told her they didn't know the full story, and I wasn't ready to tell it. She nodded and squeezed my hand. By Sunday night, the knot in my chest had loosened. I didn't forget what happened, but I believed she saw it now. Before she left, she asked me to promise I would call her at the first hint of pain, even if it was midnight. I promised. She promised she would believe me first, then ask questions, then help. We stood in the doorway with the soft hall light on our faces, and for the first time all week, the quiet felt kind.